My name is Tommy Springfield.
And I'm better than you!
And on this channel, I present you the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. And if you like how I do it, please hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. But before we get into today's video, please
allow me to reintroduce myself.
I like to think of myself as a superhero, but you know the ghetto version, like Batman. I'm Batman. I live in the Batcave. I drive a Batmobile, and I'm still that nigga. Today's video, we got a neuroscientist talks about who should smoke weed and who should not smoke weed, and how you should consume that weed. But I got a feeling a lot of y'all folks in the hood should listen to him and stop smoking on the weed.
Okay, so neither cannabis nor nicotine will give you cancer, but smoking, vaping, dipping, and snuffing can increase your risk of cancer. So the delivery route matters. Okay, so nicotine is actually...
So that's your first gem right there. Weed won't give you cancer, or nicotine won't give you cancer, but it's how you consume it. If you smoking it, if you vaping it, yes.
protective, it's thought, against Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, but it's highly addictive, and most people smoke, vape, dip, or snuff it, which is carcinogenic. Okay, so the route of entry is, or the route of administration, is important. So let's talk about cannabis. So who should not do cannabis at all?
I'm gonna stop it. The question is, who should not do cannabis? Let's see how many people we know that fall under these rules. Stop smoking.
Gotta get that out of the way. There is a growing body of research supporting the fact that some people, especially young males with a predisposition, genetic predisposition to bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or other forms of psychosis,
You heard it, all you crazy, paranoid motherfuckers and got head issues, stop smoking, please. That's why y'all out here acting a fool.
do high THC cannabis, can exacerbate or maybe even trigger psychosis. Okay, I got myself into some...
Y'all need to smoke that Reggie. Y'all cannot smoke high THC marijuana. That's half the hood. Go smoke that dirt.
let's just say, friction territory by putting that out there. But after getting attacked for saying that, there was another group of researchers that came in and supported that. You see data on both sides. It's clear to me, based on my read of the literature, that anyone that has a predisposition to psychosis, schizophrenia, or related things, bipolar, et cetera, should avoid high THC cannabis, especially young males. That does not mean young females can do it without a problem, but some people will just trigger psychotic episodes.
What is high THC considered?
Well, so this gets tricky. So for these individuals, the genetic predisposition is such that if they smoke cannabis, they'll vape it or whatever for a couple of years, sometimes they can induce a permanent psychosis later. Now, dosing of cannabis for most people, I have to be careful with my language here, is, I don't want to say best done, but let's just say for people that smoke or vape, most people are able to smoke or vape to if they've done it before, to a point where they know that they're in that plane of effect that they're seeking and then stop. Okay.
For people that may be slow, he's saying when you smoke weed and vape it, you basically smoke till you high and then you stop. I know some people be needing a translator. Let's let them finish.
Expert on my podcast who really drilled this home. Edibles, on the other hand, people will often ingest too much too quickly, and then they'll get beyond that zone. Yep. They'll be in the paranoia zone, or they'll be in some other zone they don't want to be in. So and I'm not encouraging people to do this, but if people are going to use cannabis and they're going to do edibles, you shouldn't assume that, half is not enough or too much or whatever. You need to, ease into it until you hit that plane of of effect that you're seeking. Okay. With smoking and vaping,
Yes, I definitely experienced what he said. Somebody gave me a candy bar, and he said, man, just eat one square at a time, man. I took like 3 squares because after 1, 2, I didn't feel nothing. So I took that third one, and then when that shit kicked in, just like an alcoholic at the toilet throwing up, I was there, high as hell, room spinning, and I had this strange smell in my nostril. And I was praying to God, just saying, I don't want to be high no more. I'll never take another edible. And that's one of my promises to God I kept. I have not messed with any edibles since.
people generally will, inhale, get some sort of effect, wait, maybe do it again, and then they kind of know I'm good, and they'll stop there. Whereas with an edible, it's in your system. Mm-hmm. You're off for the ride, whatever that ride is.
Yeah.
And for some people, it can be really scary. So in your case, because your concern is cancer, you're not concerned about psychosis. It's obvious that you can do a small amount of cannabis. For you, it helps your sleep. We'll talk about that, but it seems to help your sleep. And you don't have psychotic issues or psychosis at all. That's very apparent. You're highly functional in all domains of your life, as far as I can tell. The key thing is, why not take a small amount through an edible as opposed to vaping, and then you eliminate essentially any carcinogenic aspect. Like you can get rid of the cancer-causing aspect. Because vaping, it's true, is not as bad as smoking, but vaping can still cause lung damage, especially if it's done a lot. So
vaping is actually better than smoking.
It is.
Okay.
For nicotine and for cannabis, it is safer for the lungs, but that does not mean it's completely safe.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad he said that because I was finna get on him. We just had a health scare when the marijuana first went legal, and we had a bunch of bad vapes out there. But let's get back to him.
Sort of like, and here I apparently like to open up big cans of worms today. Sort of like kratom is probably safer than a prescription opioid, but that doesn't mean kratom is completely safe. But there's a kratom community, kratom I think it's called, that gets really upset when I say that. But I'm not saying that something is good or bad. I'm saying these are relative harms, and then you have to weigh it against the potential benefits somebody's seeking. So in your case, a small amount of cannabis vaped seems to help you with your sleep. It's probably robbing you of some slow wave sleep and rapid eye movement sleep that would be beneficial, but I'll mention an alternative that you could try. But in the meantime, why not use a small amount of edible, and then you essentially remove the cancer risk. And then you just have to decide if you want.
Me personally, I like smoking my blunts. I'm trying to switch to paper, but I prefer smoking it. Edibles, like I said, just trying to take something and waiting to get high, that just don't do it for me. But to each his own.
I'm going to continue to use cannabis. I agree with your wife that not sleeping is very dangerous. Very dangerous for your heart health, very dangerous for everything. Because the problem with cannabis and alcohol before sleep is it can help you get to sleep, but it's going to rob you of that rapid eye movement sleep. Okay. So I would say short answer would be, if cannabis is working for you and you don't have psychosis issues, which you don't, then maybe move to a low dose edible. So you remove the cancer risk because you're not smoking or vaping. For most people, they're smoking cannabis because they like the fact that it removes their anxiety. And there seems to be a lot of individual variation on this. Some people become very apathetic and don't work much. You got a lot of young males these days smoking a lot of weed, not doing much with themselves, and that's not good. Then you also have some really hard driving people who use cannabis to calm down and relax. And the argument is always alcohol is worse. People go, well, alcohol is worse. Yeah, I would probably agree, except for those that fall into the potential psychosis camp, right? At the same time, alcohol isn't a great comparison, because telling you that, shooting yourself in the foot isn't as bad as shooting yourself in the upper arm doesn't really work for me. It's not a very good medical scientific argument, but it seems to be working for you without too much issue.
So there you have it. He is a neuroscientist. He's telling you, all you crazy, cuckoo, paranoid motherfuckers, that's half of the hood, definitely half of the black community. Y'all shouldn't be smoking weed. That shit make y'all more fucking sillier than what y'all are. That's why y'all motherfuckers out here can't function. And that's why the Democrats want to make weed legal and all that, because I read somewhere, you can look it up, marijuana stops. It's harder to brainwash folks that smoke marijuana. That's what I heard. That's why they want to control the marijuana, so they could tamper and tinker with it. And that's the last piece of the puzzle for them. But my goal is to start a marijuana channel called The Budcaster, and these are the type of conversation and type of guests that I'm looking to have. So if you like what I do over here, please click the like, share, subscribe. Click all, click the bell so you can get click the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos, and I drop my new show, The Budcast, for all us marijuana smokers. Like I always say, if you're a supporter of the channel, much love and respect goes out to you. I salute. And if you one of the haters, cut the shit. That part.